It's going to do that little just set up. You are live. Okay, cool. I guess I'm broadcasting to Facebook already. Let me see here. Let me get my banner. Hey, what's everyone? This is Enrich coming to you from the comfort of my home here in Stafford, VA. And on the screen is Mr. Cedric Harris. I said Mr. because I got mad respect for him. Granted, I'm a little seasoned in age more than he. And we share some things in common. And it started back in 2013, 2014 with a company with the letter J. And I got to tell you, I had never washed my face so much in my life.
That was some good stuff, man. That was some good stuff.
That was some good stuff, and the things that were underneath my eyes they did what they had to do. I'm a man of complexion. So when it dried up, it looked a little different sometimes, but that's our history. And I've been following his leadership indirectly as he posts things of value. And I learned a whole lot about value and what I should have done with my personal page and what I should have done with my entrepreneur page and how keeping things separate. But that's not why we're here. We're here under the pretense of cryptocurrency. Bruh. Cryptocurrency. See what? Now, I got my first Bitcoins in 2009, November. It was on a USB drive.
Ooh.
I did a comedy show with Michael Blackson, and he said, "Mother sucker, give me another $100." I was like, "For what?" He said, "Mother sucker, Bitcoin." I was like, "What are you talking about?" He says, "Less than a penny, mother sucker." And I said, "Okay, cool. Here you go." And a few days later, my email go bing, and it says, "Download this to a drive." And, back then we still was dealing with even like the 3/4 joints, but it went there, stored it, put it away, had some keys for it. 2017 is when I was on the porch with my wife on 4th of July talking to her. I was like, "Man, they're using that for illegal things." She said, "Excuse me, Mr. Man. You gave Michael Blackson $100 of your money that you earned from that comedy show that should have went to my wallet." And I said, "Oh, my bad." Wow. She remembered. And so we had to go through Web TV, Web TV old account, which is attached to Hotmail, to find those codes.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a novice. I have, yeah, but I didn't know what to do with it. Understand? I didn't know what to do. I didn't understand blockchain and all that other good stuff. But now I'm excited about what you presented, what you mentioned, because you get to control your asset without giving it up, and you can earn from it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Enriched. That's Mr. Cedric Harris, and I'm going to let him go ahead and speak. Let him speak on who he is and what he has done and what he found out and why I said yes.
Awesome. Well, first of all, that is an awesome story. I really, really wish somebody had told me about Bitcoin when they shared it with you, because I can tell you right now, I would not be on this Zoom today. if it would just put enough of them in there when it was a penny. And you look at what the numbers are today, I mean, it's crazy. So first of all, good morning, good evening, good afternoon to everybody that's watching here. We appreciate you popping on. We know you could have been anywhere in the world and you chose to hang out with us for the next few minutes or so. Again, my name is Cedric Harris. I'm originally from Richmond, Virginia. I currently reside in Tampa, Florida. I've been lucky enough to be inside of the direct selling arena literally all of my life, inside of the network marketing arena for the past 2+ decades. I've built very, very large organizations. I have multiple organizations right now, well over 40,000 people worldwide and more than 4 different companies. Currently, as we speak, I've been lucky enough to be inside of the crypto world for a few years, but really started to take it a lot more seriously about 2.5 years ago. And the reason I started taking it more seriously 2.5, close to 3 years ago, because I saw what was going on. I've been inside of the financial world. I spent about 7 years in the mortgage industry as the president of marketing for the largest VA mortgage lender in the nation, Mortgage Investors Corporation. And I was lucky enough to be mentored by someone who was worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And when he moved me to Florida, I was with them every single day, 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, for 2.5 years. And I tell people that if you're around someone, at the time he was worth 400 million. If you're around someone for 2.5 years straight, for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, that's worth $400 million, and you don't walk away as a millionaire, you either have a serious crack problem or something that's mentally wrong with you. And I can tell everybody right now, I do not do drugs, and there is nothing wrong with me. I did not ride the short bus when I was going to school. So we made out okay. But he taught me a lot about financial literacy, you know, with us being in the mortgage industry. And he taught me a lot about how to make my money work for me. So as I started to see Bitcoin do its thing, I was introduced to it in Rich. Bitcoin was a couple of $100, and I told the guys they were crazy. And Ethereum was $7. And I said, what is wrong with you guys? I'm like, what is Ethereum? Like Ethereum, like, what is Ethereum? I'm like, $7. I'm like, y'all going to jail. Like, I'd have been there before. I ain't trying to go back. Like, I don't know what y'all doing, but I'm good with that. Like, I understand paper. I understand gold. I understand silver. I understand bonds. I understand investment. Ethereum, Ripple, Bitcoin, you guys are crazy. And I didn't buy my first Ethereum until it was a little under $80. A little under $80. So nobody feels bad. But look at that shirt, Ripple shirt, baby. Oh, you see what's going on with it right now, right? Like, some people got scared. Some people got scared a couple of months ago. They got scared. Oh my God. Okay. I just said, scared money don't make no money. Scared money don't make no money. But while we're here today, you know, I can tell you that being a leader in the network marketing arena, I get presented with a significant amount of opportunities a lot. And before I even get into this, I know it's going across the bottom of the screen, but I want to say it from my mouth at the same time. I am not a financial advisor. I am not here giving financial advice. I do not play a financial advisor on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on blogging, on radio, on television, or anywhere. If you want financial advice, please consult a professional financial advisor. And Rich and myself are sharing our opinions of what is going on right now inside of the markets. Now that we got that little disclaimer out of the way. All the time I get hit with numerous different opportunities over and over and over. And a lot of the times inside of the crypto space, the opportunities that I get hit with are quote unquote Ponzi's. And I'm not a fan of Ponzi's. I can smell them 20 miles away. So I'm just not a fan of them. I have some good friends that have made some really, really, really good money in some of these opportunities. But with me, I have to sleep good at night. You know, I have 2 young daughters. I have a grandbaby. I have a mother and a father that depend on me at the same time. So I'm very, very conscious of things that I put my name on. And I'm very, very conscious of my credibility as well, because I'm fully aware that if I go and post something, or if I go and do a video about something because of what I've been able to do inside of the industry, that there's going to be a significant amount of people that are going to join it based upon me saying it's good. So I have to be very, very careful about that. So I ignore a significant amount of the opportunities. I won't get into any names because I still have some friends that are in some of these deals. And as long as crypto is doing what it's doing, there's going to be another one popping up every 20 minutes. But what I can tell you is that when this particular opportunity was showed to me, I sat still and I dissected it for about 4 days. Okay. And I took it through an acid test. I like to take things through an acid test. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell everybody that I bat at 100% on everything that I do. I will tell you that I bat about 82%. So if I was a baseball player, they have to pay me a lot of freaking money, because they pay baseball players millions and millions of dollars to miss the ball 70% of the time and just bat 300. And when we started really dissecting this opportunity, a couple of things that I was looking for number one. Number one, I wanted to make sure that whatever someone put into the opportunity, that a piece of that did not go upline. So if someone would, and I don't want to use the word investment, so I'm just going to use whatever someone put into the opportunity. Whatever someone put into the opportunity, 20% of it, 30% of it, 50% of it didn't go into the upline from a fast start, or it was $5,000 to join and $2,000 went upline. You know, $1,000 went upline. That's the very first thing that I was looking for. Okay. Once I saw that, I said, okay, checkbox. No money goes upline. Okay. Second thing that I was looking for was to make sure that any and everyone could control 100% of their money. A lot of these opportunities that are out there inside of the crypto space, you are literally crossing your fingers and hoping that who you are entrusting your crypto to, that they're not going to run away and play duck, duck, goose. That has happened way too much. I've seen people, I had a really, really good friend of mine in Rich, and this hurt me when I heard this. Like, it really hurt me because this was my best friend's sister. You know, Lord rest his soul. You know, he left us a little less than 2 years ago, and we all grew up together. And we didn't grow up with money. We didn't grow up, you know, in the suburbs. We grew up in the bricks. We grew up a little differently, you know. And she sent me a message a week ago. I was telling her about this opportunity. She said, "Sid, I hate to say that I lost all my Bitcoin." And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she sent me a screenshot of a particular company, not going to say the name. And at the time, she had 2.5 Bitcoin in this opportunity, and Bitcoin was $25,000 a coin. Okay. She sent me a screenshot of close to $60,000. Okay. Now, this was back in early December. Hush, Adonis. This was back in early December. Okay. That account was worth $58,000 in early December. Company shut down. CEO disappeared, left his wife, left his kids, fled the country with everybody's Bitcoin. Now, this isn't a story that people haven't heard before. I wish I could say it only happened one time, but it has happened so many times that it blows my mind how people continue to keep doing this. You know, we fast forward today. She said she accumulated a total of 4 Bitcoins. She had a total of 4 Bitcoins. She had 2.5 of them in there. And then she had some more in another deal that went south as well. So both of these deals went south. She lost 4.5 Bitcoins. Now, I need you to understand, we grew up on lunch tickets. We grew up in the bricks. We didn't grow up with money, okay? As today, as we conduct this with the numbers being $55,000 per coin, she literally lost close to $300,000. And I can tell you, she has never in the history of ever seen $300,000. Her husband makes about $40,000 a year. The most money that she's ever made in a year was a little over 30. So, and she was buying Bitcoin when it was $1,800. $1,800. That was her cost average for all of her Bitcoin. And for her to tell me that, I was like, man, that just hurt. So when I looked at this opportunity, I said, can people control 100% of their crypto? They have to be able to control 100% of it, because at any point, companies can shut down. Companies come and go. We don't own any of these things. Companies come and go. So if the company disappears, are they disappearing with the money? Okay. And once I dissected that, now, so okay, we checked that box off. And here's how that box was checked off. Within this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, the company is utilizing some of the biggest crypto institutions out there. So we're talking about Kraken, KuCoin, and Binance. Let's just use Kraken and Binance for an example in this particular example. Binance is the largest one out there. Okay, so you've got Binance and you've got Kraken. Okay, what happens is that if you already have crypto in Binance or crypto in Kraken, or if you choose to transfer crypto in Binance or crypto in Kraken, or you purchase it there, whatever the case may be, there are professional traders that you are mirroring. And here's what I mean by that. Inside of Kraken and Binance, there are API codes, okay? And these API codes, all that simply means is one computer talking to another computer. That's all it is. When you log in there, you're simply copying and pasting an API code from either Kraken or from Binance or from KuCoin into the back office of the system. Once you do that, you choose whatever professional trader you want to follow. When that professional trader executes a trade, it's automatically executed for you at the same exact time. They do not know your name. They do not know who you are. They do not know your email address. They don't know if it's 5 people that did it or 50,000 people that did it. It's an API, and they're trading their own money. Okay, it's their own money. So they have something to lose themselves. They're not just sitting in front of a computer saying, oh yeah, that looks good. Okay, that's not what's happening. Okay, so the APIs talk, they get in, they get out. They're doing what we call swing trades. Okay, they're doing what we call swing trades. So I had a gentleman a few days ago said, you know, I'm involved. Nobody has taken a trade in the past 48 hours. And I said, right, you should be happy. And he said, well, what do you mean? I said, maybe you haven't looked at the market in the past 48 hours because it is bleeding. Okay, this is not Forex. In the Forex world, you can trade down, and you can, you know, trade down in the crypto world. You can, but that's not what they're doing. They're doing swing trades, and they're not looking to do 50% here, 100% here, 400% here. Listen, there are numerous millionaires and multimillionaires made every single day in the crypto world. We all hope for the day that we, you know, put $1,000 into a coin that's a penny, and we wake up one day and it's $45. Like, we all hope for that day. All of us hope for that day. Okay. I hope to be 6'2", 210 pounds, and play for the Lakers as well. But there's a good chance that that's not going to happen. Okay. Now, if some people do that and they hit those opportunities, great. I haven't been blessed enough to do that. Not going to say that I've done bad. We've done okay. Okay. But I haven't ran something from a penny to $100 yet. Okay. So they're looking at 2%, 5%, 7% swing trading in and out, in and out. And I want everybody to put this into perspective. Right now, we're in a very, very interesting climate. Okay. If you were to go to your local bank and let's say that you've got $10,000 in your checking account right now and you don't touch it, at the end of the year, you've got $10,002. They paid you like 0.0002%. And within that same time frame, they have loaned that $10,000 out that's inside of your checking account 8 to 10 times. The average bank loans out every deposit that you put into the bank 8 to 10 times. Every single bank in the world, period. Okay? Now, I want you to keep that in mind, and then keep in mind that we're at about 3% inflation right now. We're at about 3% inflation a year right now. Have you noticed that your dollar doesn't buy the same amount that it used to buy? Have you noticed that? You know, a year ago, lumber, I think, was $4. Now it's like $13. You know what I mean? Like, a year ago, you went to Burger King and you got a Whopper, some onion rings, and a large Hawaiian punch, and it cost you $4. Today, that same exact thing cost you $7, $8. Okay? The same dollar because of inflation. So if your money is just sitting like in a bank, for an example, inflation is gobbling you up. It is unequivocally gobbling you up, and most people don't understand this. So we're in a situation here where literally you can copy someone. If you can copy and paste and have some patience, okay, and take advantage of some swing trades, you can win. You do not have to recruit in this deal. Let me back up for a second. There is not one trader on planet Earth that wins 100% of their trades. Always keep that in mind, okay? When you're doing any sorts of trades whatsoever, I don't care what it is, there's going to be risk. And we always tell people, never, ever, ever risk any amount of money that you're not willing to lose. Never, never, never risk your mortgage payment. Never risk your car note. Never risk your rent payment. Never risk your power bill, okay? Never, ever, ever do that. And I see way too many people do that, okay? So when you're talking about copying someone, you don't have to figure out the graphs. You don't have to figure out the charts. You get to pick your trader. You can see some history of what they've done, okay? You don't have to recruit a soul. This is not a recruitment business here. If you say, hey, I don't want to talk to my friends and family, congratulations. I can sit here and tell you, great. You don't have to. I want to sit in my closet and do nothing. Great. Awesome. Okay, because you don't want to talk to anybody? That's fantastic. Okay. If you want to build a team, you have the opportunity to do so. But you don't have to. It doesn't matter what you put inside of a trade, whether it's $300, $500, or $5,000, and Rich nor myself get any piece of that whatsoever. We don't get any piece of that. None of it. Zero. Zilch. Not even a half of a penny. Okay? We don't get any of it. That's all at your trade, with your trade. And the minimum trade amount is $52. You know, I always tell people, hey, just keep in mind if you're doing, you know, a $52 trade, for an example, and somebody wins 2%, 3%, it's 3% of $52. Like, do the math. I mean, you're not doing that in the bank anyway, but do the math. Like, I only made X amount of dollars. Well, that's what you did. You know what I mean? I mean, hello, did you say that to SunTrust? Did you say that to Wells Fargo? Did you say that to Bank of America? Because your checking account isn't paying you a dime. Well, I got money in a CD. Great. So you locked up the CD for 3 years for 3.5%. And if you try to pull it out, you got a penalty. You put the money inside of a 401k plan, which is now a 32k plan. You got other people in the human resources department. Like, it blows my mind, Rich. You know, this is like 90% of America though. When people have a job and they have a 401k plan, a lot of people ask the human resource person, what funds should they pick? Which funds should I pick? As if the human resources person really was that intelligent. Because if they were, why are they the human resources person? If they were that smart, then they would be ahead of the game. They would have picked all the right funds already. They would have Franklin Templeton on lock, and they would not be at your job. Okay, but a lot of people don't understand, and now we're in this society that we truly feel like people really need to know how to make their money work for them. And I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna pass the ball back to you here real quick and induct myself into Duct Tape University. And I was listening to Mr. Wonderful. I forgot it. I always mess up his first name. The guy from Shark Tank, right? He's worth about $800 million. Okay, call him Mr. Wonderful. And he has this saying that I adopted years ago. When I first heard it, I lived by it. And there was a gentleman that was pitching his deal on Shark Tank. He was pitching his deal on Shark Tank, right? And the product, I forgot what it was, but it sucked. And we all know that Mr. Wonderful doesn't hold any punches. He just tells people how it is. And he says, listen, when I take my money, I use my money and I treat them as soldiers, okay? When I send my soldiers out to war, I'm expecting them to bring back more soldiers. If I send my soldiers out with you, they're all going to get killed.
Come on.
You're not going to bring me back any more soldiers.
That's right.
Most people, they send their soldiers out to war to get killed because they're buying stuff. Louis Vuitton, Gucci, this house, that car. I got to live in this zip code to prove to people that I have some money, to people that I don't even like. Okay? Yes. Just to say that I've got something. I've got this fancy car to say that I've got it just for the looks that I get at the stoplight or the pictures that I could put on Instagram. But I'm not telling everybody that I'm paying a $1,500 a month car note. Okay. Yeah. I'm not telling everybody that I'm really bleeding, but I'm just fronting. I'm looking good for the gram. They're letting their soldiers get killed versus letting your soldiers bring you back more soldiers. I understand this as being 46 years young. My mom is 77 years old. And if it wasn't for me, my mom and my dad would be working at Walmart right now with a sign on their back saying, may I help you? There's not, I don't know about you, but my mom and dad get a $650 some odd a month Social Security check. Now you live in Northern Virginia. My mom and dad live in Richmond.
That's okay. Right.
And
right.
Richmond, you ain't getting nothing for $600 some odd dollars a month.
Nah.
Northern Virginia, where you are, please, cancel Christmas. As soon as you pass the Spotsylvania County line, it's it's a wrap. You already know. I know your backyard like the back of my hand. You already know. So if you think that you're 65 years old, you're 70 years old, how are you living on $650 or $700 a month? You're not. You're not. That's why you see old people working at the toll road. That's why you see them working at Walmart. So we're talking about a way to let your soldiers bring you back more soldiers. Do it in a very, very smart way. Do it with patience. Okay, you have to have patience. Okay, and doing it with capital that you aren't afraid to lose, because nobody's going to win 100% of anything. And before I pass the ball back again, because I know this is streamed all over the place, and you're going to constantly keep hearing me say this, because it's very, very key. I'm not a financial advisor. I do not play one on television, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on blogging, or any of that stuff. If you want financial advice, feel free to contact a professional financial advisor. The things that we're sharing with you here today are simply our opinions. Over to you, my friend.
Absolutely. Hey, listen, I want to follow it, but I shouldn't. But I'm going to say, ladies and gentlemen, I was preparing to do a screen share to show you some of the benefits that I've been able to receive in rewards based on, I'm use the word membership fee that I gave to Copy Pro Traders. And I have to tell you and share with you, everyone who's in this group and watching Facebook Land and YouTube, I've had some associates whom I introduced some of those programs to that did well for me as I tested it. And once my people who trusted my word and saw my actions got involved, man, did they change the game up on us. And I felt horrible. I was like, oh my goodness, what did they just do? This thing performed well for the first 3-4 weeks, and it had been around for 8 years, but now they want to switch up their algorithm. Yeah. So I've been very cautious. A lot of things I would do, Cedric, I did for myself, my legacy, my kids, my 15-year-old, my 17-year-old, right? And as we spoke earlier, some of those early gatherings that I had from 2009 are in those cold storage wallets, one in that bank, one in that bank, in the little Huyat, locked away for them too. And so I kept 47 for myself to identify with, see how it worked. And brother, then I lost the password to one of them. I can see it in my Coinbase. It always goes up, but I can only send to it. I can't pull out from it. I can't move it nowhere. Long, crazy. Yeah, but you caught what I said, right? 47. So, and with all that said, I didn't know how to utilize it. I had my BitPay card. I understood that. But I didn't want to just sit back like mom and dad talked about their 401k as they got into positions to get one, but because grandma and grandpa didn't. And so you just follow the market. So there has to be a way to do this with this crypto. But okay, I'm going to find out for this one program, give them just under a $99 a month membership prior to this one to learn dips and pips. And okay, I'll capture it. Nah, man, I'm analytical. I'm a 1 gigabyte, and they was operating on 1 terabyte. My brain just couldn't grab it. So I sat my 17-year-old, 15-year-old next to me so they can catch what I didn't catch. And they caught things. I was like, well, the two of you are going to learn the language of money. And then wherever you are, you'll be able to prosper better than your mom and dad. But I'm here to tell you, when this came along and I saw that you can keep it, like you said, and when I look into that Kraken account, that's my login, my password, my 2FA authenticator, whatever that thing is called. Nobody can get in that. Exactly. But I see the trades taking place. And once the trader I'm following, who's out in Vietnam, once she closes it, that goes back into my displayed US digital tether. And let me talk about that, ladies and gentlemen. They use USDT, US digital dollar tether, because it doesn't fluctuate. It's pegged 1 for 1. So as the market goes up, and you see, well, if we're in crypto, we know it goes up and down. But once you peg it to that 1-for-1 asset, it's locked in. And so then when the market drops, if you know how, you can also do your own trade, which I'm learning. But that'll come at a later point. So why is Mr. Harris here? Cedric Harris, I'm here because coming from me is one thing, but coming from someone else is another. And I follow Cedric. This here isn't to entice you to participate, but I would look at it. I would really, really look at it. And in the way it's like becoming a business owner. So whatever the membership fee is, I'm sure there's a way that your tax advisor can advise you how to do things to take care of that when it needed. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna close out real soon. But said, if you see your mic, if you want, you can mute your mic if you need to. And I'm just going to go ahead and screen share real quick to show you all something. Okay, and let me go screen share. And what time is it? And I'm not going to, because your time is.
And really quickly, what are you planning to screen share?
Wait a minute, I'm gonna come out of there. Say it again, Sid.
What are you planning to screen share right now?
Well, I was going to show my Kraken account.
Okay. Can I give you a little bit of advice?
Please do. Wait a minute. It just clicked in. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I have a feeling what I think you're about to say.
Yeah.
Enticement.
This is the key to this whole video that we're doing to everybody here. I can log into my accounts and he can log into his accounts, and we can show you some very, very interesting things. And it's going to get 9 out of 10 of you excited. The one person that wouldn't be excited will literally have to stick something under your nose just to make sure that you're breathing. It will look like enticement. Okay. And
yeah,
we don't want to entice anybody. This is not about enticement. Okay. We want you to understand that there's a presentation that you can follow, that you can look at, that Enrich can send you. Reach out to him. You'll see a full-blown presentation that'll walk you through exactly how this works. Instead of us going through a back office, showing you a Kraken account, showing you different things. I've had people do enticement type things with me before, and it really didn't mean anything. And the reason why it didn't mean anything to me is that if somebody shows me a crypto account that has $10 million in it, and I'm going to say, great, that's awesome. They might show it to somebody else and they get excited. Now, why am I not getting excited? I'm not conceited. I'm not getting excited because that's their $10 million. It's not mine. Mm-hmm. I can't spend it. Now, if you're giving it to me, I'm stoked. Boy, I'm stoked. It's kind of like going to somebody's house. It's like, people in network marketing all the time. I want to show you my house. And I'm like, great. It's your house.
That's right.
But when I leave, I'm going to my house. Now, if you're giving me the deed, I'm excited.
Come on now.
But if you're not giving me the deed, nah, we don't really need to do the enticement because the program speaks for itself. And I will say this just from a smart money perspective. And I think it's something that there's a mother or a father that's looking at this right now. And if there's just one person that can get what I'm getting ready to say right now, I truly feel that it would change your life. And here's what I'm getting ready to tell you. Every year we have a holiday called Christmas, and I want you to think about something. Okay, I have a 2-year-old grandbaby. I love her to death. She's my heart. She's next generation. Okay, next generation, right? I have 2 beautiful daughters. I started off a little early. I've got one 23 and one 29. Okay. I understand the things that I bought them when they were small, they don't have anymore. Mm-hmm. The clothes, the toys, those different things, they don't have them anymore. They've outgrown them. I understand how fast a 2-year-old grows. So on Christmas this year, I live in Florida, my kids are in Virginia, and I was doing a FaceTime with my oldest daughter, and she showed me the living room. And it was just full of stuff. And I'm like, do you even have room for all of this stuff? And she was like, Dad, I actually got to give away a lot of the toys and stuff that she got last year. And I'm like, yeah, but you haven't even gone to your mom's house yet. She was like, yeah, she got a whole bunch of stuff there too. And I'm like, that's crazy. She was like, well, what'd you get the baby? I said, I'm buying her Bitcoin. I made the commitment to my 2 daughters and my grandbaby, I said every single year until my grandbaby is 18 years old, I'm buying her $500 in Bitcoin.
Okay.
You can buy her all the toys you want. You can do her all that stuff. Okay. But here's what I know that she's going to remember. When she's 18 years old, she's get to come back. As long as I'm breathing, she gets to look at me and say, my granddad had the foresight.
Yes, sir.
To make a $500 investment every single year, because she don't remember the Barbies. She don't remember the Mr. Potato Heads. She don't remember those nice little remote control cars that you drive down the street when you're 2 years old. I mean, she's 18 now. I mean, she wants a real Porsche. Like that fake Porsche don't mean nothing when you're 2 years old. She wants a real one now. Yes. So she can go out and buy that car or buy that house or do whatever. I want her to have that foresight to know that my granddad saw. And I want some of you to really truly absorb what I'm saying and think about your legacy. Think about, don't look at something like this and then 3 years later or 5 years later be on the shoulda, woulda, coulda. Oh man, I remember that. I remember that. I mean, I remember when gold was $500 an ounce and my mentor was telling me to buy it. And I was gobbling it up. Now I'm like Captain Crunch, because gold right now is $130 an ounce last time I looked before I got on here. Okay. And he was telling me to buy it when it was 500. Okay. You heard Rich say that when it was pennies. Mother sucker. I do this, mother sucker, like it when it was pennies.
Yes, sir.
Okay? You don't want to, some people looking at it now, it's like, oh, it's 55 grand. That's a lot of money. You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. You can buy $2 worth. You don't need a whole Bitcoin. Okay. But you don't want to look back 10 years from now and be like, I remember when it was 55. Now it's this. Now, we don't know what it's going to do. It might go to the moon. It might go down. Nobody knows. But guess what? Walking out of your house is a risk. Waking up is a risk.
Absolutely.
Learn to live with risk, because risk can change your life. So I'll pass back over to you, brother. But definitely, we really need to do any enticement. I mean,
you know what? Let me say this. That's, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I'm going to call someone covering your back, who was a friend and saw where I'm still, in spite of, I'm still learning some things, right? And I've never, ever since 2013, ever seen Cedric Harris show anything dealing with numbers for us him. You know what I'm saying? And no, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? And that definitely was a good right cross out of love for me. So that's what's up. And everyone should take heed of that. So if you're making posts on social media showing what you got, it could be considered enticement. And that's a game we don't want to get into. And I'm going to take note from someone who's made a whole lot more in this industry of multi-level marketing than from him. And that's why I say he's my mentor, and I follow him indirectly, but I don't pay him to be my mentor, because I'm not trying to give up a coin each month.
That expensive. It ain't that expensive.
It's not that expensive.
I wish it was.
A little bit.
I wish it was.
A little bit. So, but before we go, ladies and gentlemen, Bitcoin is the grandfather of it all. But however, what I like about the Pro Trader program is that the traders are utilizing altcoins that provide a better value perspective as it moves along the market, because everything's going to relate back to BTC. But I'm here to say some of the coins that they used, I don't have in my Coinbase account. I never would have looked at it. And I was like, well, oh, okay. Then an email came out saying they were adding these particular coins. And now I understand why. Absolutely. So get back with the person who invited you to the group. And if they're participating, please get back with them. But if not, kindly reach out to myself and we can go from there, because I will reach back to the person who introduced you to make sure that they're not wanting to get a membership. YouTube land, I appreciate you for tuning in. Feel free to comment below. Smash that subscription button and that like button. I'm learning. Mm-hmm. And we'll just go from there. So I'm Rich from Stafford, VA, and that is
Cedric Harris. We appreciate you guys. God bless you all. Thank you for your time.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Thank you, Ced.
You got it, brother.